Hello, guys. Bob here for TNL Network. Welcome to Tuesday Night Live, and thank you for joining us and supporting our entire family of shows and channels. Tonight's episode is going to be another great show with our guest, Rachel King and Liz Ruch, here to give us all the latest information about the Wondrous Women of Christmas Society Conference and Educational Elevating Elegance. Messed that up, didn't I? Elegance through education at two conferences in 2026. Stick around because we're going to have a lot to cover tonight, guys. This segment of tonight's show is brought to you by North Pole Cornerstones, a new, unique, and entertaining 4-day educational experience. This is Tuesday Night Live. You know, there are lots of educational opportunities out in the market nowadays, and tonight's show is going to be all about one of the new and upcoming, and one you will not want to miss. So stick around for that. Everyone, please give a hello to the in the chat to my fun-loving co-host, and while you're at it, be sure and send some love to our gifted producer. Here they are, Spangle the Clown and Angela Mack.
Hello! Hey, look up there. Yeah, that's the person in charge. Hey, everybody, it's good to see you all. We have a good show, and I am excited.
I am too. I don't know if anyone's paid attention yet or not, but in the chat, our producer has put up that we are one uno subscription from hitting the 600 mark for our channel. And it's been slow going, but we would love to have that tonight. Sure would make us feel a lot better by the end of the show for sure. You know, you can experience this on a bigger screen while the experience comes alive on YouTube at the Tuesday Night Live Show 1225. The first half of the TNL show Trivia is brought to you by School of Santa's 2026, hosted by Spangle in picturesque Ozark Mountains, Branson, Missouri, where fun and education meet. All right,
Hey,
Spangle.
all right. Yeah, we got that Tuesday night trivia up there. Is it written up there? It's not
No,
showing
she's
yet.
fixing to throw it up on the screen
Okay, yeah,
now.
yeah, let's throw it up there. But anyways, hey, the stuff we're saying, we used to do little prizes and all that stuff, but we're gonna throw out a coupon today. It'll be good for a week. If you go to the website, put in TNL one zero TNL 10. TNL is in capital letters. You're gonna save 10% on your whole order. So go ahead and save you a little money and stock up a little bit. Anyways, going to this trivia here, we're going to do some toy trivia. This doll was on the market for 6 years and was the second most popular doll after Barbie. We have A. Betsy Wetsy, B. Ken, C. Chalty Cathy, and
Chatty,
D. What?
Chatty
Chat,
Cathy.
Chatty Cathy. Well, she's just talking all the time.
Yep.
And D, Tiny Tears. Okay, so we have Betsy Wetsy, Ken, Chatty Cathy, and Tiny Tears. But we got a bonus for you. In the 1960s, Barbies sold for about this money: $9.99, $3, $6, or $7.99.
I think it's contagious, Spangle.
Yeah, yeah, you
Yeah,
did it to us.
I'm fumbling with my words tonight, and you was having trouble getting 10 out.
Yeah. And maybe I need to put my glasses on.
Yeah, I think I just need to slow down. It's
It,
been a
it,
hectic day. It's
we
been
need to
crazy
come, we
today.
need
Had
to
a
come
lot
down
going
a little
on.
bit.
So,
All right, so guys, this doll was marketed for 6 years and was the second most popular doll after Barbie, Betsy Wetsy, Ken, Chatty Cathy, or Tiny Tears. And in 1960s, Barbie sold for about $9.99, $3, $6, or $7.99. Now that prize, that winner is going to get your name in the hat for a scholarship for the School of Santas, and also your name will go in the hat for a scholarship for North Pole Cornerstone. So there's some
that's
good
right.
prizes.
And we would ask, or the producer extremely ask, if you are playing the trivia, be sure and put the letter and the answer both together. Uh, that way, it makes it easier for her to decipher between the original question and the bonus question. So when we have two different multiple choices, it's pertinent that you put both the letter A, B, C, or D and the correct answer with it.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready yet? I want to remind everybody, though, that those scholarship drawings will be drawn. Yours will be drawn 6 weeks prior to your July event, which is the third weekend in July for your school, School of Santas. And the last show of Tuesday Night Live this season, season 6, we will do the drawing for the TNL NPC scholarship. So,
You do that about the Halloween show, don't you?
yeah, somewhere right around in
I
there
heard
because
you.
have to get it out and let everybody prepare, or the winter prepare.
Yeah, you give them more of a notice than we do.
Yeah,
They got 6 weeks.
yeah.
Hey,
That's because
anyways,
we got the off season. So.
right. Anyways, tonight's two featured guests are here to give us the latest about the wondrous women. Oh, the Wondrous Women of Christmas Society, with two different conferences set for 2026. The WWOCS is the new educational opportunity with the inaugural dates coming up in June, with the second session later in the year coming up in September. So please give us a huge round of applause for Miss Rachel King and Miss Liz Ruch.
Hello, hello, hello. How are we? How are we?
Hello. Hello,
I just
everyone.
noticed that I just noticed also in my notes here I misspelled Wondrous again. So I've got to learn how to spell that properly,
There's
correct?
actually two different ways. There's Wondrous and then Wondrous.
Yeah, and I put the Urus in and y'all are the Rous or however you want to put it. Absolutely. Well, it's
They're
good to
just wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. So it's great to have you both here, and let's not waste any time because we got a lot to cover tonight. So let's just go ahead and dive into the show and talk about. Let's start off here. What's the main mission of your society? And I've got a couple of follow ups after that, Rachel.
Well, guys, I think our biggest goal is to inspire a shift inside of our Christmas culture. We came across a rare treat. We had no idea that establishing the Wondrous Women of Christmas Society is actually the very first historically known women's program in the history of the cloth industry. So we were contacted by Philip Wentz. You guys probably know him from Santa Claus Hall of Fame, Santa Claus Oath, Mrs. Claus Commission, the Elf Oath, and so forth. And he and his wife Deanne have just been a tremendous eye-opening support element to this whole thing. Um, Liz and I got together one day and we decided, okay, um, We have a few gaps going on inside of our industry. So, what's going on? And one of the gaps that we identified is making a connection for the women to the women across the industry so that, there are lots of men that support the women in our industry, but we need something that supports each other. So, we decided we're going to unite and create the Wondrous Women of Christmas Society.
And
Which
so
includes
the
all
mission
the
is by
women.
now. Did you answer that or?
Well, I was going to say it includes all women who are portraying a Christmas character. There's so many female Christmas characters out there, and there's no home for them. I mean, Mrs. Claus is making a big you know, entry into the world, but there's other Christmas characters that come in. So that's why we decided to say Wondrous Women instead of a Mrs. Claus Society.
And then we learned that there are so many behind the scenes supporters of ladies that are out there saying, hey, I'm not actually a Christmas performer, but I help mine. And we want to include them in it as well. This is a united front across the board.
I think Steve Gillum would be a good example of that
Absolutely.
with his wife. You know.
Yes.
And the industry has been growing so fast, especially on the ladies side of things, and then the elves and the other performers that are coming into the industry. And so this is a great idea that you guys have come up with.
So when Philip Wentz had contacted us and said, "Do you guys even realize that I don't think there's anything else in the industry like it. This is actually historically unprecedented." And I was like, "Wow, we just didn't know going into it, but now we feel there's a really huge responsibility on our shoulders to make sure that we establish history, an actual legacy for Mrs. Claus and the other female performers. There are so many that we don't even touch on hardly in our industry. And we need to do a better job of growing who these people are and sharing it and helping them become known. And so Philip Wentz is reaching into the archives right now and helping us establish a foundation of who we are, where we come from, and how do we use that foundation to grow into an actual culture.
Yeah, it's amazing how much it's grown just
I'm
going
glad
back
you.
15 years ago. When ladies really started making a presence in the industry, and I've heard this said so many times, different ways, but uh, kind of the gist of it is that you guys are actually writing your own history and designing what the modern Mrs. Claus looks like.
You're
Yeah.
on point, Bob.
I mean, my first experience in Claus schools was at School of Santas with Santa Ana University.
Hmm.
And so that was my first experience with women, and everyone knows my story. I was not going to be a performer whatsoever. I was just going to be that, back of the house person taking care of my performer. But there was so many ladies that were lifting us up and everything. And so, Santa Ana is a big part of the growth of what's going on in our industry, bringing women in and having a non Mrs. Claus character, a female character who was out there trying to fill some gaps. And so, that's a lot of inspiration there to follow.
Yeah, because Santa Nana was never a Mrs. Claus.
Exactly. She
Right.
wasn't.
Now,
She
Bob,
created her own character, like, well, we create
Right.
our own
Yeah.
characters. Yeah.
Yeah. She was a dear friend.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a shame that she passed on as early as she did because she could still be making such an impact in this industry if she was still with us.
Well, the cool thing is she is.
Well, she
She is
did.
still making an impact. And that's something that, a lot of there's the Santa Claus Hall of Fame and there are Mrs. Clauses in there. And, but again, it's called the Santa Claus Hall of Fame. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is where it all comes from. We're not competing against different portrayal artists because they're male or female. We're just trying to bring more opportunities because we all know there's not enough of y'all out there, and we need to fill these gaps. And so this is just something. Oh,
That was before the beard.
weird, precious. So there's just something that needs to be. It's like well, I mean, we'll just say you say it's coming up a lot faster. I would say within what 10 years. Trish Paris, my co-partner, and she's also going to be part of here. She's one of the original founders, if not the original founder of the Mrs. Claus Commission. And she tells me the stories how there was 12 of them there. There was 6 of them there. And now at Santa Fe Reunion, it was 60-40. 40% of the attendees, 40% were women. How crazy is that?
It used to be 50-50.
Yeah, and right now, right
Well,
now,
that's what's getting all the guys to come.
well, the guys are coming. So we actually have our original Rachel and I. We wanted 4 women, but so many men were reaching out saying, "We want to be a part of this. We want to lift you guys up. We want to be there and make this happen." That we couldn't not allow them to be there and help us and be a part of it. And it's really interesting because, I kind of describe it, and I don't know if this is the right way or not way, but it's a women's conference that we let men attend, where most of the conferences are men's conferences where we get to attend. So right now, like our registration is 60-40, 60% women and 40% men. So there's just a little bit of a difference. It's still the same feeling of love and caring and family, but it's a little bit different shift where, we're more focused on lifting the female performers, and we need the gentlemen to do that because you guys, here's my thing I always say: women are proactive for booking and men are reactive for booking. You guys get the gigs and you react to them. We have to go create the gigs and go for it. So, and the society is, it's confusing with the conferences. So the society is a society of women together, and we're going to grow each other up, and there's going to be things that go along with that. But the conferences are the society putting on the conferences. So that does get a little confusing, especially with all our beautiful words that we have with all the conferences.
Well, Bob, can I give you some clarification on that?
Yes,
For
ma'am.
the conferences? All right, so the Wondrous Women of Christmas Society also has, for the women, also has the Christmas ambassadors, which are the men. So they're the men uplifting the women in the art form and vice versa, because we have to share and support one another. Then we decided, okay, I'm going to back up just a second. For years now, people have been coming to me and saying, I wish I had the courage to. I wish I knew how. If only I could. And there was all these objection style statements. And being a professionally trained military training developer, my brain fired in saying, we can answer these questions. We can answer these desires that these people want to do more. And it was men and women both doing this. And so what I realized is that it's not hard to fulfill their request in the meantime. So I started talking to Liz about it. I was like, they want courage. They need empowerment. They need formal training. They really need to understand character development, performance development, and so forth. And most everybody knows that I've been to every CPW class 3 times. But that's where my training comes from, because every single one of us has a mentor that brought us into the industry and has helped grow us. We all have a place that we started. I started with CPW and just kind of ran with it. And that taught me the empowerment part of it through performance, in how that actually develops your character and your background and so forth. And then I said, okay, well, what else is there? Well, these are women that actually don't know how to market themselves that were coming to me. There are a few gaps in training programs that establish courage. So we started looking at what exactly needs to be addressed. And by answering their questions from across the industry for men and women alike, I started putting together a training program that not only answers them, but physically walks them through what we call applied application. So when we go into the Christmas Grand Spectacular in June in Burlington, Kentucky, or what they call the greater Cincinnati area, when we go into that one, folks are going to show up and learn what they need to do as far as marketing and performance and financial literacy and their actual portfolio development and photography, studio work and so forth. There's a whole lineup of 4 days of information. But as they do all this, they're not going to be told what to do. They're going to turn around through applied application and physically do every single thing that we are asking of them. And this is the most immersive training that I could possibly create for our industry, or that I've even seen inside of our industry. Because if we say, oh, hey, you need to be strong at cold call marketing, because like Liz is saying, we are very not requested as women performers. And we have to go out and create our own jobs for the most part. There's very few people out there saying, I need a Mrs. Claus, or I need an elf or something. So because we have to create those jobs, we are going to take that and show you how to do it. You will be doing live cold calls at the conference, just to be confident when you walk away of how simple cold call marketing really is. We're going to take the stress out of it. We're going to take the fear out of all this training and development, and have you walk through it until you're comfortable and you've got the courage to walk away and be successful yourself.
And after they learn all that, they can go out and sell windows too.
Probably.
I can tell you that the curriculum is very heavy and very exhausting. Just talking about it, yeah, we were going over Cincinnati last night, and all the details of minute by minute of what we're going to be learning and doing. Everyone's going to be exhausted, but it's going to be a good exhaustion. Your brain is going to just, fill. And there's going to be a lot of information that some people will never ever use, or information some people will use eventually. But, as we get older, we need to fill our brain with more and more information, just constantly filling it with different things, different skill sets. Try something different, see something in a different way. And it's going to be exhausting, but it's going to be a really cool payoff in the end. Are we off of our schedule or questions
Yeah,
now?
we're already on 3.
A long time ago.
So a lot of the questions that I get, Bob, we're already on 3. The differences between the 2 events is not a lot, with one really, really major exception. When Phil and Deanne Wentz started learning about the program, and especially the Women's Society, they stepped up in the absolute biggest way possible. And this is what floored me. This is at the heart level, you guys. They went in and analyzed what we're doing and why we're doing it. And they both said, we are going to endorse your program 100%. We are going to ensure the success of this program by working with you and helping you grow across our industry. It doesn't get bigger than that. And I could not be more grateful, because if I could give any gift to our class community, it is this. It is a foundation. It is a stronger legacy. It is growth. It is job development. It is training and education, and it is personal empowerment, all in one package. And these guys are standing behind it saying, let's do this together. And when we first developed this program, I actually lifted it up in prayer. And I said, okay, God, what do you want? What are you asking of us here? And the answer came back so clearly. Do not do this alone. And you guys, this has been the most incredible village program I have ever seen. An entire village is gathering together and creating this program. This isn't Rachel's idea and Liz's idea. This is a class community that asks for things. This is an entire industry of talent and skills and abilities coming together. These are history founders. These are leaders that are coming together. And I am writing a blessing book to help you guys understand how hugely impacted we have been in the development of the program, because it is literally a unification of our industry in the establishment of this. So it isn't just a training program. It isn't just a women's society. It's not just a men's and women's society. This is a shift, a dynamic shift that's happening in our Christmas culture. And I am so happy for everybody.
So with that being said, Rachel, Phil Wentz will be in Cincinnati.
He'll be there. Yes, in the end. Oh, sorry. I get a little sentimental about it, but
And in St. Charles, there's one difference is we get to do the parade down the
Yeah.
historic, beautiful Hallmark city of St. Charles, which everyone misses doing big group parades. So that's going to be really cool. If anyone's ever looked into St. Charles Christmas traditions, they have what, like 50 or 50 years. They've been doing it for 50 years, but they have like 50 or 60 performers, Christmas performers that go up and down the street, and they're going to be involved with this too. They're coming to do some things with us, those performers. So those are the biggest differences between the two conferences. Phil will be in Cincinnati. We have a parade in St. Charles. And then location.
You want to do them both.
And
Hey, do it. We have several people who are actually doing both.
we have 11 people that have signed up for both
Very
already.
nice.
I
Very
mean,
good.
it's that big. And I am sworn to secrecy by this, but Philip Wentz is doing something absolutely unprecedented in
That's
Cincinnati.
Really
So
cool stuff. He puts
we're doing
everybody,
it once.
he makes everybody keep secrets.
I know, and I want so bad to tell, but if you can get to Cincinnati, oh my gosh, you guys get there.
He tells me secrets not to tell her, and he tells her secrets not to tell me.
I can't even tell my husband because this is so big. I'm super excited for everybody. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
So
And
those
I
are the
think
biggest
Phil-
differences: location, the time of year, and parade in St. Charles. Phil, Wentz, and Deanne in Cincinnati.
I wonder how many secrets Phil has, because even him and I have a few.
I know. I think he does that with everyone, and he calls so early in the morning.
Yeah. The coolest thing, I think the coolest thing that Phil has ever done for me is in 2016, he asked me if I could take Jim Ewing's daughter to the airport. You know, he's like the Santa Claus, you know. Him and Charles A.B. Howard were the first two Santas. And I stayed up late studying all kinds of things about her dad, and I mean, I knew a lot already, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta know more about her dad. I gotta know more about her dad. And then we're driving way down into Arkansas to take her some airport down there, so we got her like 2-3 hours in the car together at 4 o'clock in the morning or something. But all she wanted to do was talk about me and what I did and everything. And I'm like, God, I stayed up all night learning about your dad. But it was
That
so,
must have been during the celebration in Branson, right? The
yeah,
that
yeah,
year?
yeah. But it was so cool just being able to meet her, and that's history,
Right.
Yeah, yeah, but that's cool. All right, Bob. I think we need to go to you again.
I'm lost. Let's say, what am I going to learn that is different here? Is that the next one?
sure. All right. So we've designed things a little bit differently, and this is where my military training kind of comes in. We are actually developing a training symposium. All right. It's not just a conference where you float around from location to location and learning from everybody. This is a progressive agenda where A plus B equals C. And we are very deliberately asking everyone to be there all 4 days because it's stacked learning. Every time you do this block, the next block follows it specifically to support what you just learned and then to grow upon it. So in this training symposium, which is for everybody, regardless of your character, regardless of your skill set, we're going to do something really, really unique. You are going to classify yourself in a one-room schoolhouse mentality. You are going to determine if you are a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, or a senior, and what
Preschool.
level.
Preschool.
So by doing so, you get to determine what level of growth that you're at and need to grow towards. And then that inherently establishes who are our more senior and who is our more junior people. That gives us a built-in peer-to-peer opportunity to mentor and develop one another.
Yeah.
When you start identifying who has more experience in different areas, and you're going to list on your name tag what areas of experience that you have, you're not going to just see who has what experience and go to them for more mentorship, but you're going to see who needs more and help fulfill those different types of, requirements and needs. So this is a different way of training. When we start implementing peer-to-peer, we are taking it deep. I'm establishing the first ever Meet the Masters program. These are people who have skills and abilities and talents and education and training in specific areas, and they're willing to spend 2 years mentoring and training our industry based on those areas of experience. We're going to start identifying who are the masters with all these skills and start sharing it. I think that's going to be really cool. So a one-room schoolhouse mentality. We're not backing things up to the freshmen and sophomores. We're teaching at the advanced level and letting them learn at an advanced level if they're not there already. Because by the time they walk into their season and they're experiencing a live scenario that they learned that they weren't really ready for, but now they have the knowledge and the skill set available at their fingertips because they experienced it there at the conference.
Well, and here's the thing. I'm going into my fifth season, so I still am learning so much about the industry. But I've gone to so many schools and workshops, and as you know, Bob and Spangle, I'm always at something. And the mentors, there's a lot of mentors out there who have given up on going to schools or conferences because they've seen it and done it so much. But the reason we need the mentors, the seasoned performers, is because we need them to bring up the new performers. So we need their presence. We need them there. When I get to go to the conferences and sit down with you, Bob, I get to learn so many little things here and there. There's so many Santa Clauses that we've never even heard of that have been in the industry 30, 40, 50 years. And we need them to be at these education conferences. We need them to be showing up so that they can mentor others. And, I'm bringing in some of my sales and marketing that I've never presented before. I did my 60 minutes in Oklahoma, and I'm still getting phone calls every day, Bob, from people asking for more information and help. And I get to have more time, and I'm going to actually go into salesmanship, which we've never done. Has anyone ever taken a sales class before? I mean, it's something that's simple to do, but it scares a lot of people because people come from different backgrounds where they never sold anything. That's just scary to them, when they were in a service background. So there's a little bit there and here and there that's going to be similar to other places, done a different way. But we all know when you hear things over and over again, and you hear things, sometimes you hear it in a different way, it clicks.
So if you have that one room class mentality,
hmm
do I get to wear my special hat to class?
Oh, the dunce cap.
Here it goes. Here it goes.
We actually should enforce a Spangle bench for every single spot. every single event I go to, Spangle, I'm going to carry around a Spangle bench with your dunce cap.
So,
And
Bob,
Lynn, talking about you only being in the industry 5 years, something that Gordon used to say to me was, yes, that's true, but you're like the 16-year-old that's going on 30 because you're so much further ahead.
Well, that's only because, as I've always said, I follow everyone on Facebook. And I enjoy going to schools and conferences. This year, we're only going to 6. So, I just want to absorb all that information and meet and network and get involved with as many people as I possibly can. Now, that backfires for me sometimes. Something that's going to backfire on me, which I know, is I have also decided to do a little test pilot in Cincinnati, where everyone who comes to Cincinnati is going to get 1 hour of my time outside of the school. This is going to backfire on me so bad. I know it.
Tracy's going to be mad.
Oh, I'm going to give 1 hour to everybody on what to help them with their social media, online presence kind of thing. And it's going to be a phone call or a Zoom call or something like that. But I'm going to give of me no money complimentary, which right now we have like 60 or 70 students. That's 60 or 70 hours of my life I am going to give complimentary to folks that need my help, which always means they probably have a Hotmail or an AOL email address. And Walk them through it. Now, Bob, I have walked through things before. I'm pretty patient, aren't I? Try to.
You are, and you're so wonderful about being patient. Here's the cool part about Liz. She listens, but she loves to talk more.
So
I
you're just
do. I do. I have so much information in my brain I want to
You
share.
do.
It's
You
hard for
do.
me
You
to
share.
stop.
You're so
you're
But
wonderful.
just lucky you don't hear my computer when I start it up. It goes.
now just to understand, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but just so everybody understands, I get calls from bigwigs in our industry. I'm talking, the guys that we all pay lots of money to see, or, asking me to help them with their social media and their online presence. And I say no. So this is a big deal for me to sacrifice this time with no money in my pocket for each of you. I just want you to understand how significant this is. And I don't want to drop any names because they probably don't want to know people to know that they need help with their social media. But this is a big deal. And I am not one of those experts that can go out and teach a bunch of stuff. This is all stuff I've learned on my own. And so when I share it with you, it's going to be in layman's terms of these are the things that work. This is what you need to do. And if you, I have someone I'm mentoring right now, which I'll kind of go real quick over this. One day at CPW, Santa Cruz said, "Is anyone bringing anybody up in mentoring?" And my brain was like, "Well, yeah," but then I stopped. But they're all men. They're all men. They're not women, and this is why. I could tell the men where the jobs were. I couldn't tell the women where the jobs were. So it stopped me in my feet. Stopped me in my place. Like I am not doing this. So that was one of the things that triggered a lot of this to happen. But I do have someone that I'm mentoring right now, and he contacted me because I need to get my website, I need to get this, and I'm gonna get that, and everything. And we talked it through, and he doesn't. He doesn't need a website. He just needed his Facebook page and a gig salad. So I'm not going to tell you to create and do work on things that are not needed for your use. There's just some people who don't need those things. So, sometimes we learn something in school and we think it applies to everyone, and it doesn't apply to everyone. So, we waste our time and energy on something that's not going to help us out. Are you ready for a break, Bob?
Well, there,
No.
there's people that I talk to also, and they want to get a website too. And like you said, you don't need a website, but I tell them sometimes go and buy a website domain name and point it to your Facebook page.
Exactly. Point it to your gig salad. Point it to, yeah,
Yeah,
you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on a website. You just need the domain and then put that on your business card.
right, exactly.
Because it does look more professional that you have your own, claim. Because a lot of us don't have a location. So when you have a domain name, it at least gives you a location. Exactly, Spangle.
Right. So let's skip down here a couple of things. I think we got to go. When you look at a woman in our art form right now, Mrs. Claus performers and storytellers, singers, where do you see them? What is this landscape that you're going to look
Mm.
to make them look like you?
What does the landscape look for the future? Is that what you're
What's
saying?
the,
Yep.
what's the landscape look like to you?
Well, I mean, right now there's a big push for Mrs. Claus, as we just said. Think about how many Mrs. Clauses come to the industry. Couples, a lot of couples wanting to work together, and so she's coming in big. And Rachel, she's working on a lot of corporate entities that are going to try to bring Mrs. Claus into the corporate world, where traditionally right now they only have a Santa, and they want to, you know, bring in that couple.
Well, I have named this the Mrs. Claus Initiative. But here's the really cool part. Even though we're putting it under the classification for Mrs. Claus, all right, and the reason we're doing that is because Mrs. Claus, like Liz says, is taking off. It is commercially becoming known. It's become known much stronger in the movie industry, in the commercial industry, as far as like movie and advertisement. And then there's a more, I don't know, a stronger recognition of Mrs. Claus in the actual household. So she's becoming just more known. We went through the Santa Claus era, we went through the Rudolph era, we went through the Grinch era, and we've got Elf on the Shelf. It's Mrs. Claus's turn. That's basically where we're at. And because the industry and the commercialization industries are growing this, it's natural that we would grow it as our Claus industry as well. Now, what I'm about to share, I first and foremost want to make sure that everybody knows that this is not just for Mrs. Clauses. This is for every single Christmas performer, regardless of gender or character type, okay? Calling it the Mrs. Claus Initiative does a couple really, really important things. First of all, if you were to answer the question, what does Mrs. Claus do?
Yeah.
99% of the answers that people formulate is what she does at the North Pole. Takes care of Santa, bakes the cookie, runs, X, Y, or Z at the North Pole, looks after the elves. Sometimes she's a reindeer trainer and all these things. Once in a while, they'll say she reads stories to children. She is a line leader. She helps Santa. Very few people will actually say that she's an independent performer. Or I rarely ever hear somebody say that she has a role within a family home construct. So here's the initiative. What if we took her out of the North Pole and put her into the homes just as regularly as Santa is seen and known as the home? He collects the wishes. He has a legacy of bringing the presents and eating the cookies and drinking the milk and filling the stockings, right? He physically comes into the home. So what if we were to put Mrs. Claus in the home? And we can do this by sharing Christmas traditions, reigniting Christmas traditions across the globe. If we were to help families remember how to write a real Christmas card, a message of love and endearment, not just a signature at the bottom of a card, right? If we were to celebrate decorating the Christmas tree, I mean, think about it. What if Mrs. Claus, her sole purpose was to do a home visit and go in and decorate the Christmas tree with the family, just to help them remember the values of family togetherness and making this an actual tradition and not one more thing to do. And learning to wrap presents beautifully and baking cookies or sharing a meal together or making an ornament, doing crafting and spending time together and playing games and reading stories. All these things that are embodied by Christmas traditions are actually jobs that every single one of us performers can do in the home. And I've come up with 12 Christmas traditions for us to celebrate with families. But if we take those Christmas traditions and we put it under this banner of the Mrs. Claus Initiative, and we deliberately take Mrs. Claus out of the North Pole and put her into the home, we have created instantly over 10,000 jobs in our industry globally.
And here's the thing. Women are already doing those Christmas traditions in the home. That's what moms and grandmas and aunties and everyone's already doing. She's already the one decorating the Christmas tree. She's the one doing this and that. How many women are going to feel so empowered being able to invite a Christmas character of love and everything into the house to do the job they always get to do, but they get to enjoy watching it being done instead of doing it? Imagine. I mean, everyone understands this, right? So, and our target market, even Santa's, is moms and grandmas, right? I mean, who hires you guys, moms and grandmas? So this is where, where the jobs will be, instead of being proactive, they can become reactive, and you can be in the homes with families. With simple little ideas and thoughts. How to do it, though, is the thing. That's a great idea, but how do I do that? That's
Bob, you missed your key answer to that question.
And
Yeah, when she said who hires you, is it moms and dads? You should have said moms, dads, and Cherry Hill.
Yay, Cherry Hill!
Santa Central. All right, ladies, let me ask y'all this. What do you wish was there for you when you started, and what do you hope will change for the next generation?
For me, it wasn't being told what to do. It was being shown what everyone else is already doing. It's one thing. I mean, I got to see Rachel perform, and that was like, the first thing I was like, nope, not me, not gonna happen. That's not gonna be me. I can't wear that dress or glide or whatever it was. It's like, no. But that was the only exposure I had, was one performance. So it was exposure to what performance looked like, what Mrs. Claus looks like. Because what was the first thing I said that came out of my mouth? And there was a bunch of ladies there. They can say it, but I'm not an old lady.
Yeah, but Rachel glides and floats through.
I know. I mean, she only has a 100-pound dress on.
She's
She can't
almost like an
even
angel,
fly.
above you, floating.
So for me, it was, I wish I could have seen what everyone was telling me. I just needed to see it. But other than the movies, I had no exposure to Mrs. Claus. It was only the movies.
Good point.
So that was for me. And so when we started writing this, and it sounds weird, somebody who's been in the industry so young, blah, 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 blah. But that's because it's all fresh in my mind. What I didn't see or feel or understand. And so it's fresh in my mind to be able to tell her, this is what I'm thinking and all that stuff. So, I'm helping with the sales and marketing communications, which is also confusing because I do help with lots of other organizations. So everyone hears and sees my face a lot on Facebook. But at the same time, I'm excited to learn a lot of things because of all these mentors that are coming in, and I'm going to get to see how they perform and what they do. And it's going to be pretty cool because we don't get to see that.
Yes, we have 12 performers sharing what they actually do as classes in live performances throughout the 4 days.
See, and that's been a problem in the industry for Santa and Mrs. Claus and else or anybody in performance is, where do you go to see someone else perform? It's out of character for us to go to another Santa set or show up, where we're not with our beard and so forth and so on. So, True was the first one to tell us, hey, you've got to get out there. You've got to be able to do this. Here's how I do it. And that set the scene for the next wave.
And that's where the designer beard Santas have an advantage on the regular bearded Santas.
Absolutely.
And also, there's also that fear of someone stealing your routine. There's a lot of us that are guarded with our little secrets, right? We do this little secret thing and we do this little thing. But, and everyone laughs when I say that we're all going to be worm food someday. And, if you don't pass on your legacy and the skills to someone else, it's just going to be a lost art.
Yeah.
So
I do. The people can have it. I mean,
if I
don't do anything I wouldn't share for anybody.
I'm an open book.
Yeah. But the problem is too, there is somebody could watch me all day and see what I do and then go out and do exactly what I do, and it doesn't come off right for them.
That's true. That is very true. And that's why you've got to see more than just one performance. You have to see different performers because you're never going to completely copy someone else. I mean, we do something with snow, and I went off what Larry Talbot shows with his snow. We don't do it anywhere near the way Larry Talbot does his snow. We have a completely different way we do it. And that's okay. But I had to watch him do it for me to come up with how I want to do it.
Right.
Find what you like and make it your own and throw away what you don't.
Exactly. And just keep piling it. And you never know when those little weird questions or something pops up, oh, I remember 5 years ago, so-and-so talked about that, and now I can use it. There it is. It's in my database there. So, but that's what I think is going to be the most exciting part to me, is being able to see everyone's outfits, see them live, performing, and get the ideas and inspiration for sure.
Good point John throws up there.
Mm-hmm. Bob, I want to make a clarification.
Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Rachel.
I want to clarify, just because the more senior people are coming in and we are doing peer-to-peer training and we're going to have them mentor, I also want you guys to know that we are doing very specific breakouts for the juniors and seniors in the group.
Yeah.
And they are going to be learning at their level in a very advanced format. So
is there a breakout for the preschoolers?
And then behave. Then the ones who need more development in certain areas, they can specify what's best for them. The entire training program is not collective. That's the cool thing about this. 100% of the training is designed to the individual for their own season, whether a couple or a solo artist or what have you. Every single thing is tailored so that you develop your season, your journey, your way, and what's best for you. If you are weak in this area, attend this class. If you're stronger in this area, attend this session. And so you get to break it up based on your strengths and weaknesses.
And we can't forget there's a bunch of cool fun stuff going on.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, you know, we talk about that Mrs. Claus could go in and decorate a Christmas tree. We're going to decorate live together Christmas trees. So it's not
What
like,
are
hey,
what are some of the surprises or the
oh, well,
the
and we got the tea
cliches?
party. We got the tea party. What can we talk about the party?
Yes, yes. Okay, so let me kind of give you a rundown that's a little bit in order. All right. We are opening with an opening ceremony with Phil Wentz and Deanne Wentz, and they are laying the foundation for the history of where we come from, establishing our legacies and reminding us that we all are a part of something so much bigger.
Right.
And then we are going straight into, in attire, a tea party attire, Mrs. Claus's tea party. And most people won't even realize how significant this piece of the training is. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful. It is elegant. It is fun, and you're going to learn while you're doing it. We have a very, very strong marketing piece because so many classes have come and said, I wish I could. So we're going to answer all your objections there. Meet the Masters. We're going to watch 12 different performances live, and we are going to give you a very, very special thank you. Every single one of you put so much heart and soul into what you do. We are going to be hosting a night under the Northern Lights and have a black tie formal gala for you. A way to say thank you for all that you've done to give to others. Let us give you a moment back. We are going to be studying business management and financial literacy. And then I love this one. For men and women, there are breakout sessions. There's a 4-hour breakout session. You go to your type that's best for you. But every single person is going to go through a cut and style class. What is my actual cut? Where does my vest end? Where does my suit fit right? Where does my dress actually accent me? What type of outfit or dress or suit looks best on me? So a cut and style class that includes professional measurements. Everybody will walk away tailor or seamstress ready. We're going to discuss gig management programming. You are going to do actual studio work inside of a live professional photography studio. And because you're developing a professional resume, you're also going to walk away, included with your purchase of your ticket there, is a professional portfolio photography package. So your headshots, your full body length, your couple shots, everything is included in there. So you are resume ready. We are going to be doing a lot of video work. This video work is stuff that you can take home and put in your websites and your programming, your advertisements to ensure that your clients know what you're capable of. So a lot of video work throughout the week. And then we have media training, a grand march, which is really unique. We have the parade in St. Charles. There is a live meet and greet at both locations. The Cincinnati one is near and dear to my heart. We get to work with foster children firsthand. And then we have, okay, if y'all have not met Paul and Michelle Smith with the Slay Society out of Atlanta, Georgia, you got to meet them. They are
You probably don't know her by Michelle. It's Minty the Elf.
Minty the Elf, yes, instead of Smith. The Slay Society has been, yeah, they have been truly, truly instrumental in the development and the support of this program. They've already brought more than a dozen people to the program as well, and it just keeps going and growing. But they are going to be hosting the reindeer games with Santa, and Mrs. Claus's tuck-ins. So not only are you learning different ways of having fun and entertaining and doing crowd engagement over with the gentleman's side or the Santa side, but over at the ladies' side, so many ladies have come and said, I wish I knew how to do a tuck-in. We're going to train you firsthand. But we're going to do it in a really fun way. It's going to be a pajama party.
It's going to be led by an elf.
So, yes, it will. A real elf. So, the idea, though, is that it is 4 full days. Yes, we do ask you to be there all 4 days because it is stacked learning. It is progressive. You are rewarded for all of your training. We'll leave it at that. And it's very
There's going to be bling.
Yeah, lots of bling. So you guys all know I like to
sparkle. Get to your bling too.
Yeah. Yep. You guys are going to be sparkling as well. It's going to be amazing. But the lineup is tailorable to who you are, where you are, what your growth level that you are at, your operational level. If you want to do more, we'll help you be more. If you want to do less, we'll help you slow down and refine your art. So.
Oh, to the tea party. What should they wear to the tea party?
Tea party.
Okay. You want to see what shoes I already have for the tea party? You guys have to see
a toga.
Hold on.
A toga.
No.
Oh.
So at the tea party, there is no. Yeah, those are shoes.
Those are my tea party shoes. Now I haven't found the gown to go with it yet, but we have to start with the shoes.
So you can wear a dress, you can wear pants. Santa's, the entire time that you are there, you are welcome to wear for our special events because there'll be a lot of photographing going on. We want you for the tea party to be Claus inspired, okay? Because of the video work that you're going to take home and use for your own advertisement, you want to look appropriate for that moment. Santas are welcome to wear a vest and slacks. Okay, just not blue jeans for that piece of it because we want you to look your best, but we don't want you to be in full Santa attire. If you wear your vest, just know that you will be eating and drinking throughout that experience. And then for the gala, even though we call it black tie, we understand a lot of gentlemen don't actually own suits. So if you would like to wear a Santa vest and a Santa shirt and a pair of dress pants is absolutely acceptable. Just again, know that you are eating in this outfit. And then for the ladies, please wear formal attire. Look your best. This night is our gift to you.
So. Yeah. If the pictures don't tell the story didn't happen. Isn't that our current generation?
That's right. If you don't have a video,
it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Not on Facebook. All right, are we ready to take a break here?
I think so. Go for it.
All right, everyone, stick around. Don't wander off too far. So we'll be right back in about 90 seconds with Rachel and Liz. What a fantastic show this has been.
Oh, hello there. Yes, of course, it's me, Santa Claus. Now, you may not believe this, but one of the questions I get asked the most is, well, not how do I do it all in one night? No, but where do I get all my things from? Yes, now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the finest things I have. My glorious gloves, all my knickknacks and trinkets and things. Yes, all the giveaways. Yes, for me to give to the children before the main event. Yes, if I see them in the streets, if they come and see me, I like to have something in my pocket I can treat them with. Yes, and there's one special place where I can find all these magical goods. And that is, of course, StuffForSanta.com. You should head there now and see what magical gifts you can find. Mrs. Claus, have you got my ice pad? Yes, log me on, I'm going to have a look. I shall see you there. StuffForSanta.com. Merry Christmas.
Real quick, when does that coupon code expire, Spangle?
It'll go till the show next week.
The show next week. Fantastic.
Yeah. Now you
All
were
right.
talking. Okay, I got an echo. I don't know. But anyways, that if you don't have a picture, it didn't happen. Okay. Miranda Ritter, the reindeer lady up in Kansas City, her reindeer lost its antler. She seen it out by the fence, and she was going to pick it up. And just as she was getting almost to the antler, this dog came running up, grabbed the antler, and she was chasing it down the driveway, but couldn't catch it. And people said that if you don't have a picture, it didn't happen. So I created this in AI. So now she can let people know it really did happen.
That's hilarious, Spangle. I love it.
But
I love
anyways,
it. Oh, we've never even said the website. The website is womenofchristmas.com. Now, if you
what
are
was that again?
womenofchristmas.com, it'll still go there because I was smart and I got both domains. So womenofchristmas.com. 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 Do we get that? Womenofchristmas.com.
You know what, Spangle? She's been hanging around with you too much. She tries to buy all the different versions of the websites.
You do. You get them all. You never know. People typo wrong,
Like I have stuff for the number 4 Santa, the stuff FOR Santa.
.net, .com, .org.
Even stuff for MrsClaus.com. I own that. It goes to the website. Stuffforels.com. It goes to the website. So
Well, we didn't put wondrouswomenofchristmas.com because wondrouswomenofchristmas.com is really long and people would misspell wondrous, as we know, Bob. So it's just womenofchristmas.com or womenofchristmas.com. Both of them.
Honestly, it's $2, $3 to buy the name. You probably ought to go in there and buy that name too, for somebody else doesn't buy it.
I did.
Okay.
I have them all.
Yeah.
I think I even have the Urus spelt wrong, but they're all there.
Yeah. So how are you thinking about?
I'm guilty. Or us. Absolutely. Well, hey, great to have you guys back here for the second half. And the next question Spangle has is a good one. So roll it out.
So how are you thinking about the inclusivity of inside WWOC? Beyond gender, what about race, age, background, or different artistic styles?
Guys, it's really simple. If you're a Santa, you're a Santa. If you're a Mrs. Claus, you're a Mrs. Claus. If you're an elf, you're an elf. That's it. We don't put anything into it other than you are who you are as your Christmas performer, and we honor you as that performer. Period.
We have actually removed people from our group who were upset about some performers being in there because there's no place for it. There's no place for it. We all need to love each other where we are, as we are, who we are, and in the end, yes, this is a beautiful and wonderful job to be doing. It's not, for some of us, it's a calling. It's not a job, but in the end, we all have different markets. We all have different personalities. We all have different backgrounds. We're all just different.
Competition with each other. We're in this together.
We are in this together, and we reach different types of people by being different types of people, and we need that far reach. We need to be able to reach everyone with love and kindness. Even if you are the guy who goes to the bar and does the whatever they do, pictures with the bar people, that's their target market. It's okay. They can have that target market in a purple striped suit. I don't care.
I do have a good friend in the Santa community, and he most of his business is the bad Santa, and that's what he does.
There's a market for it. Go
Yeah.
for it. Be good at what you're doing, and
you know him too.
I do.
Yeah, I'll tell you after the show.
Okay. But that's the way I feel. We're portraying fictional characters And our interpretation of our portrayal is our interpretation of our portrayal. And if we have a market for it, we do. Now, there's consistency, there's ethics, there's different things that we need to stay true to. And we're not going to have people involved in our society that hurt the society or hurt our community. There's you know, as a newcomer, I learned about, and I always thought Trish Harris was just making up the word man. I always thought she just made that up.
Yeah.
That was her description of it. And as I've gotten more involved in the community, there is such a thing. And I just don't want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of showing love and kindness and bringing up the community of people, no matter what type of people they are, who they are. As long as they want to be loving and kind to the community, I'm going to be loving and kind to them.
So let me say, WWOCS is creating a training model that helps the whole Christmas performers world think differently about representation. How does this help our community grow?
Can I give you an example of something that recently happened?
Yes, ma'am.
So I accidentally got cast into a movie.
Yes, you did.
It was not intended. And
Trying your hardest not to be.
Tracy Pierce very lovingly said, "Hey, let's go audition." We went down there. I did not take it seriously. I took a resume that was a Mrs. Kloss resume, and it literally said that I weighed the weight of a small barrel of candy canes and I had the height of the half of a polar bear. I did not take it seriously. Okay. So ended up getting cast into the movie, and they created a role for me. So long story short, I think the reason I was put into that position is because I needed to learn something very invaluable. While I was there, I had never witnessed an entire industry that empowered and supported and encouraged people like these people did. All the way down from the talent agents that bring you in through the audition process. They cheer you on. They encourage you. They make you feel comfortable. They are soft and gentle and warm and welcoming. All the way to the day of the shoot, and I'm there at the actual director. This guy could be a whole lot of things. And I went up to him and I said, "Mr. Mark, this is my first day on a set in front of a movie camera, reading lines, doing anything related to a movie." And he stops. He stops everything and all the buzz around me. He puts both hands on my shoulders. And he says, "Rachel," he says, "we got you. It's okay. We're going to walk you through every single bit of this. We're going to do this so many times. You're going to know your lines inside and out. You're safe here. We got you." And it was the most empowering, loving thing he could have said to somebody who was very unsure about what she was walking into. So I needed that experience all the way from the makeup and the costuming to the extras, to the behind the scenes workers, to the camera crew. Every single one of them applauded you when you were done. They cheered you along the way. They were kind to one another. And I said, "You know what? This is the exact example of what we need in our industry." And I think I had that experience to serve as a deliberate reminder that everything we do inside of our society, inside of our training programs, and for as much as I can influence inside of our industry, that is our standard now. To love and empower and to remember that kindness is at our core.
And this is a result of being at other schools and other conferences and being brought up by mentors who are in there. This is not oh, we can do it better, or as me and Bob were talking about, oh, we're going to make money, because you don't make money doing this. You usually work out money doing this. People, this is expensive to do. The food, the tables, the decorations, it's expensive to do. There's no money being made here. But this is inspired by everyone we have been in contact with. This is inspired. This is not to be better, to change things, to make a ruckus. This is icing on the cake. This is growth. This is advancing, filling a gap, that's there. And it's amazing to see that people are supporting us and not, um, no one's saying it's competition. No one's saying, oh, here's another one. There's a full support of the community. And that's what feels so good. And we want to make sure that we don't take that for granted by any means, that we don't take that for granted, and that the people who are supporting us are being recognized. Um, I mean, there's so many name drops we could throw out there that, I don't want to, because I don't know if they want to be known that they're doing
Yeah.
something in our community, they're in the society of helping us. But there's just so many people out there that are just throwing in, just jumping in and just helping and being positive, that we don't want to lose that in the community at all. We want to make sure that everyone is feeling as loved as we're feeling. So, it's exciting that there's so many new things popping up, because there's a need for more. Even though I know some of us that are perpetual attendees feel like, oh, there's another one to go to. Oh, there's another one to go to. There's so many people that aren't being reached, even with another one to go to.
Yeah.
There's so many people not being reached,
Yeah.
and Spangle and Bob, you guys know this, that you hear it all the time. People don't even know it exists. That some of these places and these organizations and these schools and these conferences exist. I was blown away that when I was at Lone Star Santa, people had never heard of Santa Family Reunion. It was mind boggling, because to me that's like the thing everyone knows about, this and that. They know about these, or people who don't know who Phil Wentz is, or that there is a Santa Claus Hall of Fame, or there is an oath. Um, they don't know these things, and so we just have to keep on trying to communicate to those who are not getting the communication. And by having so many different opportunities for people to attend a school, or to be a part of a group or a conference or a chapter, that's what we need to continue doing. So there's no competition. I don't feel competition from either one of y'all schools.
Absolutely
Um,
not.
I'm helping Rachel, and I'm SFR, So this is what we need in our community, is diversity, growth, and inclusion, and communication, and just pure kindness and love, lifting each other up. So
You're also SOS. You're also NPC. So not only do you help anyone, but you help everyone. And
it's
again, we are not in competition, and we're not reaching the full benefit of all the folks that are out there, as you're saying. There's not enough schools, because if there was, then people would be complaining even more about it. So we're not in competition together. Something that Gordon was always really good about and beat into my head was the fact that we're not in competition. And in the Sat Bob's course, we actually talk about all the other opportunities, learning, the conferences. We put it out there because we don't feel like we're threatened by anybody. We're all there to perform a service, and we're doing our due diligence. And
Yep.
this, you mentioned about us talking about not making money. If folks just knew what a conference and a banquet room and center, if you got one room, two rooms, three rooms, what they cost, and what your food and beverage cost, it would blow their minds.
it would. It would. I mean, and as conference, speaking of conference organizers, I forgot about that. Have we talked about that yet? That I'm actually going to have an additional class the Wednesday before both conferences, that's about how to create, manage your online presence for your conference. So as we've in Santa Fe Reunion and Wondrous Women, and even North Pole Cornerstones, we've gone to a new software for registration and communication, and so I'm going to be teaching on, if you are someone, I mean, it could even be small chapters in the area that just do little registrations for other things. If you are interested in learning how to better your registration, which is, instead of sending out a paper for everybody to write and put a check in the mail, or you do an email, everybody emails saying, I want to be registered, and then you have to send out an invoice to get it matched up because that's what they were doing before. They had a spreadsheet of who registered, and then after they paid, they went to the spreadsheet and found out who it was. If you want to understand more of that and how to simplify that, I'm doing that extra workshop. So you can go to our website and or send me a message or whatever. But I just thought it would be kind of cool to do something for the organizers who might need some more help instead of just the attendees. So
Liz.
Some of us just have somebody else that does that.
I know Spangle has it made. He just has someone else who does it.
Well,
But
it's a labor of love for all of us that's on this side of the teaching opportunity, trying to help others, trying to advance the industry. It's definitely a labor of love.
yes,
Yeah.
Let's throw these two questions both at you at the same time, okay?
okay.
And what are some things that folks in our performer community can do to help you? And what do you need from us as peers other than word of mouth and let people know about it?
Well, we do have advertising that we're trying to pull in right now. That will, as we all know, the advertising helps us pay for our handbooks. That's basically what the advertising is. So a
Yeah.
print ad will help us pay for our handbook. So if you have a business and would like to place an ad, that would be awesome. Right now, we're collecting money for scholarships. My business, Lizzie Claus, is doing a scholarship, and we're selling what we call mystery boxes. Or I'm selling mystery boxes. So all the proceeds from the mystery boxes are going to go to that one scholarship, one for each conference. What else do we have? If you want to donate any money for other scholarships, or if
Charity.
you have a group that you would like to spread information to, we can give you that information to send out an email to your email database, things like that. Any other sponsorship that we're looking for, Rachel?
On the website, you can actually sign up for our newsletter. So as we start generating newsletters, go in there, drop your email. It doesn't cost anything. It just helps us stay connected. And then on Facebook, if you could join our group page there, just to be able to share.
We
with
have a
people
group
who do it.
page. We have a group page, and we have a business page. And if some of you are not don't understand that, the group page is private, so we can chat back and forth within our community. The business page is for just the business to post things, and you can comment on them, but you can't create posts. So the group page is Wondrous Women of Christmas Society, and the business page is WWOCS Education and Conferences. And I did that because a lot of men didn't want to join the Wondrous Women group page, but they would join the WWOCS, business page because it
Very
is
true.
women on it. So we got you both ways.
Yeah,
I-
if you
I
want
think-
to, when the show's over, you can go in there and put that on our Facebook page, on the
Okay.
page, and
Yeah, I'll
way
do
you
that.
can go back and look at that also.
I think
What else do we need?
I think clarification is very important in sharing things properly. The
Yeah.
Wondrous Women of Christmas Society is an organization designed to empower and grow us within our industry. It is for both women and men. Okay.
Okay.
And then we are the society is the host to two conferences. They have different names for a reason. The Christmas Grand Spectacular is in June in the Cincinnati, Burlington, Kentucky area. And then the Christmas Ambassador Symposium is in September in St. Charles, Missouri. Learning the names is very important because in 2028, some serious magic is going to happen for our industry, and it allows them to be familiar with the names, delineate that there's differences between them, and then be able to grow within each of these organizations that we're establishing formally. So this year, we learned different names. Both conferences are nearly identical for 2026, though. So clarification is important.
Let's go back to one thing that you were talking about, the ad for your things. I'm right now creating the ad for the full page.
Awesome. Yeah.
Three things I'd like to know about that. How do I get you the payment?
Okay.
And the second is it's full color or black and white,
Full color.
and when does it have to be in by?
Okay, so on the website, there is a place for vendors and ads. And on the ads, you'll be able to click on it and you'll be able to pay there and upload your ad. If you are unable to upload your ad through the registration, then you can just email it to me, but I'll contact you whenever you do it.
Yeah,
And we
that's
have
probably what's going to happen with me.
yeah, we have two different ad sizes. We have a full page, which is basically 8.5 by 11, and then half page, which is half of an 8.5 by 11. They will, if you place the ad now, it'll go in both conferences.
Yeah.
So there is the deadline on there on the ad application. Now, if you place an ad after the other conference happens, we'll probably discount it to a lower price because you're only going to get one conference for that.
Do
But
you
for
know
now,
what the deadline is?
the deadline, I want to say for the Cincinnati one was in either the 1st of May or the end of April.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You see
Yes.
that on the screen
Which
there,
one's
Liz?
which one's first? The Cincinnati or the?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's first in June, and
All right.
then
So
St. Charles
we got a month to get it to you.
is yes.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I sent everyone an email in my database that would possibly do it. We've got a few ads in there. We realistically need about 10 more ads, and we would be good. As far as the scholarships, far as the scholarships, you can actually apply for the scholarship right now. And this is what I have decided. I don't have criteria. Just apply.
So what Randall was saying was, holler at him tomorrow. He wants to help you
Okay, awesome.
monetarily on the
Thank
scholarship
you.
side. So
That's wonderful because we really want to bring. There's a lot of people who we get this a lot. I really want to come. I really want to attend. I just don't have the money, and
And they're deserving.
we hate that we
Yeah.
have to charge what we have to charge, but we have to charge what we have to charge. And when Rachel started this, it was a 2-day education conference.
Dude.
It,
That's
we went to the 3 days.
it
That's
happens.
Yeah, I was like, Rachel, there's no way we had to add a fourth. And it's one of those things, it's pretty much 8 to 6 every single
But that's a
day.
good thing to have. I mean, we run into the same thing with cornerstones. I mean,
It
and
is.
we've got a list for presenters next year that have come to us, and there's not enough room in 4 days even to have what we have out there already.
That has happened to Rachel. We get people all the time. I would love to present. I would love to present. And how wonderful is that people
That's
want
We're
to be
grateful.
part of it.
And
But
we
there's
hear
no room.
them and we're bringing them in 2028.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the way to
And
do
I
it.
saw a message asking, is there going to be more downtime? We are trying our best to get as much downtime as there is for socialization. There's only one dinner, right? There's only one dinner in Cincinnati.
Right. The gala.
The gala. So everyone's on their own for dinner. Unfortunately, the way ours is, the hotel and the event center are not connected, so you'll have to drive back and forth. So we're having to make sure we give everybody that travel time also. So if everybody stays in the host hotel, we all sit down there in the lobbies and talk to each other anyways. But there
And
is going to be enough time to socialize. There is going to be a little bit of time of shopping. There's a few vendors, not very many. I think we have 2 or 3 at each event because it's more education heavy than vendor heavy.
but the curriculum is also designed to do what I call forced networking. Trust me, you're going to get to know your peers.
Yeah, so you're going to get to know each other
Yeah.
for sure.
I
So
think
that's
this-
another reason it's really great for us to have the advertising. We're not going to have so many vendors. I would love to still have everybody have resources to go to
Yeah.
with the advertising.
And that's so
the
important to
question
be
on the screen has been answered, so I'm going to take it down. Everyone is included. It's all inclusive.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to grab a few more of these comments here real quick that we kind of starred along the way. Some of them are not going to fit into where we're at right now. They were earlier in the show.
That's okay, go for it.
Susan says, I'm excited for this society as I will be first time business clause this UPC.
Congratulations.
Yay! We're excited. I feel like I'm still a newbie, so it's awesome. I did my very first solo gig this year by myself.
Yeah. Welcome,
Last-
Suzanne.
Tom
yeah.
was talking about Santa Ana last September.
Yes. Very wonderful.
It was a great first experience for me by far. It set me up for success.
They put their heart in it.
They did. Mhm.
Yeah.
Ken Kringle said that being Santa is fun, but it's way more fun when Mrs. Claus is there.
My husband would say the same thing,
That's precious. Thank you, Ken.
especially because you always look good with her on your arm, right?
Randy Neely says this school is going to be really awesome. You ladies rock.
Oh, thanks, Randy. I know Debbie's coming. Are you coming, Randy?
Yeah. Yeah.
When are they separate?
I
True.
know.
True. We love them.
I know. We're going to have to make sure they don't work too hard, though, because they like to come and work too hard.
Pat Weston wants to know: is this going to be more Mrs.
Yep.
Claus or Santa?
Absolutely not. And that is a misnomer because it's hosted by the Wondrous Women's Society. It is not true. This is individually applied, regardless of what performer or what gender you are. Everybody will have equal training. The only time it separates is when we have a Mrs. Claus breakout, a Santa breakout, and an elf breakout. And that is 4 hours specific to your type of Christmas performer and not specific to gender. So, no, there is nothing that is deliberately women heavy, except it will be very, very pretty.
Yes. That is one thing I will tell you. Do you know how many storage lockers this woman has of decorations? I just got, 8 more Christmas trees I delivered to you on Saturday?
8 more.
8 more Christmas trees. More Christmas trees I
Yes.
delivered to her on
So
Saturday.
we have over 30 Christmas trees coming in. Linda Turner is coming out of Oklahoma just to help create some of the specialized arrangements for it. Everything is handcrafted and as Victorian, as beautiful as I can possibly do for you.
Yes, and so the theme this year in 2026 is Victorian,
Yes.
which also means, what would the theme be in 2028?
The
There was
roaring 20s.
So again, storage lockers. We've been hanging around with Spangle too much. He's rubbing off on all of us.
I got 2 warehouses now in Springfield. Yeah.
Don't encourage me.
Chris says, I love it too, Randy. Nothing like being in an environment at a school or conference. So encouraging.
Yeah,
It
that was
is.
earlier comment that Randolph that I had put up. He was replying to him, which is right here, real quick. No,
Bob,
Randy,
you want to
you
read?
listen
You want to
to
read
me
it? You want to read some?
here's what I was referring to. I love going to schools and conferences, et cetera, et cetera. So much to still learn, so much, excuse me, to pass on. Incredible business for that. Fellowship, community, and connections are incredible. Let's pass it on. That was what Chris was replying.
Absolutely.
You know, it's so funny when I go to my chiropractor or my nurse practitioner and stuff, or anybody that knows what I do. They're like, "Where are you going this time? What are you doing now?" And they get so excited about it. Like even my photographer, she came to Northport Cornerstones. I've always told her what we do and everything, but when she was there and saw it, they were just like, "What? This is crazy." It's almost like a habit, like everybody has their golf or something like that. For me, it's closing. It's just being around people, spending money, because every time we go to an event, we spend too much money in the vendor rooms, and just it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
But you do get to learn skills and things that can better you. But even if you're not doing that and you're just there to have fun, I mean, it's the greatest. I agree.
Pamela Kemp wrote, to build on traditions, some families have lost those. Mrs. Claus may need to play the role of helping families identify a tradition that works for them and make it doable in today's society.
Way to go, Pamela.
Exactly.
Yes.
Nailed it.
There are traditions that they're just making it. There's nothing special that they can do anymore because they're just making it day by day. You are so right.
Yep. Randall, spot on. Absolutely. The part about the mentorship is that we have got to continue growing our industry, and we do that by growing one another, especially those who are a little bit more junior to us. And that mentorship is going to help connect us. I think we need a stronger connection across our community, and it's going to help us identify who needs what, how they need it, and then start fulfilling those gaps.
And I think there's a little bit, sometimes I see or I hear from some of the senior, performers who've been doing it 30, 40, 50 years. Sometimes you'll hear and you'll see on some of the face, well, I've been doing it for so long, I don't need any more help. And that's where it's reversed. We need your help. We need your wisdom. We need your encouragement. So just because you've been doing it for so long doesn't mean that you don't need to, provide more for others, or it doesn't mean that you don't, there's not something that you're missing. Because I mean, our world is changing every minute of every day. So um, I just feel like I love TNL because TNL is always about sharing more and being more and giving more of yourself. And it's not about what's in it for me. And
Yeah.
that's what we have to be as attendees too. What can I do to help? Not, when you're new, yeah, it's about you. What can I get out of this? But when you're attending as a senior performer, it needs to be what can I do to make our industry better and this conference or this education or whatever it is better. Now, you don't have to be critical and say, well, that sucked. But, because there's some of those too. But you need to be there and give great input and help everyone along. And I mean, that's
And
just
Randall performing since Randall started performing when he was 14. He's been doing it all these years, and he is the exact example of what you're talking about: sharing and giving back without question, without
without,
ever. I mean, Randy is the first one to always something to say
Yeah.
something positive and good.
And he
Yeah,
helps endlessly.
I was talking to a guy a little while back. I think it was at Sam's Club, and he looked like a Santa and stuff. And I went up and approached him and was talking to him, and I said, "Hey, do you go to any Santa schools and things like this?" He goes, "Look, I've been doing this for 30 years." He goes, "I don't need no Santa school," and he goes, "I'll just tell you something. People pay me $25 an hour just to show up at their house." I'm like, "Yeah, you're good, man. I get it, you know." But I mean, that's the mindset of some folks.
It is, and I mean, we can't have everyone have the same mindset. We're all a little different, and they have, he has his thing and he does his thing, and go on with it. I just don't like it when they tear it down. If it's
Right.
not for you, it's not for you, but you don't have to tear it down. And being a Facebook stalker, I mean follower, I read a lot of that stuff, and it hurts my heart.
We have somebody wanting to know if you'll have anything to do with sign language at your school.
No,
Nope.
not
There are
currently.
so many schools that already offer that. We're trying not to compete with what is offered elsewhere.
Well, you could do a little sign language. You could do like, "Come here, hey, go eat,
Joey, thank
break
you.
time." Hey,
Will there be open times for folks to network, trade, swap items and ideas? Just relax. Smaller meetup groups might be nice. Family.
Mostly in the evenings and during your group time and things like that. There is vendor time, there is lunch time.
Yeah,
Some of them are working lunches.
one of them. Yeah.
well, Diane wants to know Cincinnati or St. Charles. Well, just say both.
I mean,
Start with
well,
Cincinnati.
Diane, you're going to be in St. Charles for sure.
Well, and where she's at, she's right there for both events. So take them
Yep.
both in, Diane.
Oh, you know what, Diane? Thank you for making me think of this. If you are struggling because you need to find someone to room with because you want to save money or things like that, reach out to me. I have lots of ladies who are looking. I even have a couple extra rooms that are booked that if you are one of those ladies who are like, I don't care, I'll sleep on the floor, we could put you in one of those rooms and sleep on the floor or a cot. So, the rooming situation, we can work on that.
Very good.
All right, so we've reached the end of the comments and questions at this point. If anybody has anything further, go ahead and throw it in the chat. We're going to go ahead real quick and move along and say thank you to our contributors. We'll be right back.
Ho, 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 ho!
Shop Thermo Apparel. They're wonderful. They're fantastic. And for the coolest of cool Santas or Easter bunnies, remember Thermo Apparel. Don't just be cool as an attitude. Keep cool, literally.
Thermo Apparel. Be cool.
Ho, 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 ho!
All right, real quick, let's go ahead and reveal tonight's trivia answers. The schoolofsantas.com, stuffforsanta.com. This doll was on the market for 6 years and was the second most popular doll after Barbie. The answer there is C. Chatty Cathy. Our winner,
Mr. Bill Coates.
Bill Coates, gets that one.
Ooh.
Fantastic job, Bill. Name goes in the hat. And let's see, the second part of that is in the 1960s, Barbie sold for about, and the answer there, amazingly, B, $3. Winner,
Mr. Trivia.
Mr. Trivia, got that one. Okay, for both of you, his name goes in the hat for the School of Santas and for NBC. Great job, guys. All right, one more time, we're going to play these, and we'll be right back.
It disappeared. Oh, there it is.
Angie's Originals, custom Christmas attire since 2015. Your all-in-one wardrobe shop. Shop at angiesoriginals.com.
All right, fantastic. Now that we got all the bills paid, Rachel, did you have a comment that you wanted to throw in?
I don't know. Just,
You were wanting to type one in there?
oh, I just wanted to thank everybody.
Oh, okay.
I'm just very grateful.
Since you couldn't get it typed in, I thought, well, what's better than from the horse's mouth, right?
Yeah, there's just been so much interaction. I've loved all the comments and everything you guys do at TNL and what you do for our community. Thank
Oh,
you. Thank you.
Wait a
all.
second. Y'all are going to be at Wondrous Women of Christmas too. Because Trish is going to be there, the Evergreen Queen.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
correct,
We
Trish.
can be a close
Ms. Nikki is coming for TNL and will be there covering the event for TNL. So we want
Yes.
to thank you guys for allowing her to come and be able to help. And thank you, Rachel, for the kind words. You know, again, I mentioned earlier in the show that we're all in this together. We really are. We're here to support, help, build, mentor, do whatever we can to keep this industry going. I mean, for me, as a traditionalist, looking back on all the Santas and Mrs. Clauses and elves and those in the support area of our industry that has been there for years, that laid the groundwork for us to be able to come along and do what we do. How lucky are we to have that blueprint? And for you ladies, you're building your blueprint.
Absolutely. And we are so honored to get to do this. But knowing that we're doing it together, that this is a group and a collective event, is just bigger than anything I could have imagined it to become.
And so, all of our TNL viewers out there, during these schools, watch for little pop-up videos to come on our Facebook page
Yeah.
of little things that might be happening around there and showing you what you're missing.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. There's always something going on in TNL with some of these schools and these conferences, and you guys are always there to report and show and just talk to new people and seasoned people and I mean, we at North Pole Cornerstones, we met some people that were really young, and then we ran into them again at Lone Star, and it was really great to you know what? And here's another thing I want to say. When we were new, when we were new, people walked up to us and said hi and brought us in.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to make sure they're focusing on doing that when they're at a conference. Because Tracy walked up to a gentleman in Texas, and he was very shy and quiet, and he came out of his shell and was able to do and say and see things that he probably wouldn't have because he felt so scared. So that's another thing to do as a mentor. Just sit down and talk to someone and bring them into the fold.
Absolutely. And, it was mentioned earlier about always been there to help and build. And for you guys, you saw a void. Rachel was talking about how she seen a void, and you guys had the ability to fill that void. Well, it was kind of like us with TNL.
Yeah.
Nobody was covering the Santa community or giving out free information week to week or interviewing these guests. And we've talked about this before. A lot, I say a lot, too many of the folks that we have interviewed and have documented through uh, recording their sessions have passed on.
Yeah.
Gordon Bailey, Tom Carmody. I mean, the list could go on. And so thank you guys for seeing a void and coming along and filling it and putting together such a wonderful society.
Thank you.
And these videos don't go nowhere. You can always go back and watch them.
That's right.
Yes. I'm always telling people there's a free resource. Just go watch it. Just go.
Yes.
Yeah,
Learn about our community, not just about how to be a clause, but how to be a clause in the community.
absolutely. So, Spangle, what's your final thoughts?
Well, you almost just feel like you want to become what is it, a nomad or whatever, and just be able to get in the vehicle and just go from school to school to school. But I think this is one you're not going to want to miss. Put this on your list and check it out.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Spango.
Well, thank you, Liz. Thank you, Rachel. I don't know if we covered everything we wanted to cover. It was a long show, but
We
hey, if
did
there's
good.
more and things change and you get updates, we can always have you guys back again and would love to.
Well, when you get me on the screen, I'm always going to talk too long. So
Uh,
I said, when you get me on the screen, I'm going to talk too long. 1
I
hour.
just I love to hear you
I
say
just,
that.
I only stay 1 hour at NPC. Y'all capped me off at 60 minutes. I was thrown off the
Rachel, can you
stage.
believe she admits that?
Turn the mic off. Turn the mic off.
All right, I want to say thank you to all our contributors. Tell everyone good night, Spangle.
Good night, Spangle.
Remember to join us for our next Tuesday Night Live each week, 7 p.m. Central, same clause time, same clause channel. Count your blessings, not your sorrows. Remember, education and training is the most powerful weapon which one can use to change performance skills and knowledge. Get out there and learn, guys. Thanks, everyone. See you
Love
next
you
time.
guys. Thank you.
Bye. Good night.
Bye. Thank you, Angela.
Stick around. Don't go anywhere, ladies.